Hey friends, welcome to the channel. If you're interested in what I've been up to in over 1,150 hours of language learning in 2022 and how I set my new goals for 2023, keep watching. Los geht's! My name is Dustin. I'm an IT project manager from Germany, and on this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today we are going to review what I did in 1,150 hours of language learning in 2022 and how I set new goals for 2023 just by using Notion. Oh, but wait, before we start, let's have a nice sip of coffee. I've spent over 1,160 hours in total, and I've spent about 10 hours for English. Then for French, I've spent over 430 hours doing many different activities, but also lots of passive listening. Same applies to Italian, over 500 hours. And for Dutch, my newest edition and my newest language, I've spent over 150 hours in total. And then last but not least, I've also spent over 50 hours about language related topics. So learning about learning and learning about other languages, not the languages themselves. And that took also some time. And you can also see here how the time is distributed over the different months of the year. Of course, in June, for example, I've only spent 55 hours of learning languages because I've been on vacation and I did many other things. And on the other month or in the other months, you see how different it looks like. The peak month has been August with over 121 hours. Okay, let's have a look at the French learning goals that I've completed in 2022. First of all, I've read and listened to quite a few books. That would have been the second and third Harry Potter. And then I've read Les Particules Élémentaires, and this one has been quite huge for me because it has been the first real paper book that I have read and listened to without any translation. And I understood the story and I had really lots of fun, despite the fact that this book is quite complex in its writing style, I'd say. And I've never read it before in any other language, so this has been a huge milestone. I can just pick up any book and that I can read it from front to back without any help. Then I've read and listened to another classic, Bruges la Mort, and that has been quite a challenge, and I've read it in Link. And those classical books are sometimes really hard to comprehend, but it was quite fun. Then I've obtained the 40,000 known words within Link in French, by all those reading exercises and also consuming massive amounts of YouTube content, but more on that later. I've listened to all the Coffee Break French podcasts or episodes and I really like them, so it gives you kind of context and it gives you some good grammar explanations if you are looking for that. Then I've worked through all Hello French videos, that has been also quite pleasant. I've listened to all La Vérité éclate toujours episodes, or at least the free version. This is the advanced or intermediate or advanced podcast of Coffee Break French. Then I've listened also to all Sex and Sounds and Les Chemins de Désir podcast episodes. And Sex and Sounds is quite funny, so it's humoristic, and Les Chemins de Désir is just wonderfully written. So I'm really, I've been really stunned by listening to that. Then I've read and watched, and you have heard correctly, I read the text of those YouTube videos and I've watched the YouTube videos afterwards. Over 1,000 by now. So that has also been a milestone. So I've imported them all to one folder into Link, and at 1,000 it stops counting. I've watched quite some series on Netflix in French, which are, for example, Les 7 Vies de Léa. And this one I can really recommend, has been quite interesting. The Parisian Agency, or L'Agence Immobilière is it in French. It's about some real estate agents in Paris who are selling properties and trying to find buyers and all those kind of things. And it's well made and it's really nice and pleasant to watch. Then the series Marseille, but quite difficult to understand, but it's been a while ago that I watched that. Osmosis, it's kind of science fiction-ish, but not too far out, about artificial intelligence and stuff, so pretty relevant to nowadays. Then La Monde, that's a kind of criminalistic thriller, also not too bad. Then Lupin, and this series I really love. It's an adaptation of the old books about Lupin, le gentleman cambrioleur, so who is kind of a counterpart against Sherlock Holmes, if you will. And this series plays nowadays, and it's really well made, and I can really highly recommend that. And then I've watched also the series La Révolution, and how the name already suggests, it's about the French Revolution, but in a kind of fictionary setting. So it's with people who turn to zombies and stuff, and it's really well made. It's only said that there won't be a second season, but the first season is pretty great, and I can highly recommend that. Most of the series I've watched with subtitles, but for example, Les 7 Vies de Léa, I've stopped using subtitles at the end because I've realized that the subtitles are not 100% accurate, and that I'm now also able to understand the series without using subtitles. But still, French language is quite hard, to be honest, and I've consumed massive amounts of content, and sometimes it's still not easy to understand stuff because words are not clearly separated from each other, and there are those abbreviations everywhere, and it's not a melodic language like Italian, for example. It's a nice language, don't get me wrong on that, but it can sometimes also still feel quite difficult, so don't beat yourself up. French is a difficult language, or at least difficult to master. So the first one, to spend at least 1 week in a French-speaking country and to fully immerse myself. I've actually spent several weeks in France, but I didn't immerse myself. So I've been there with my girlfriend, and we had a really great time and really enjoyed it, but I didn't really immerse myself. And I'm not sure if I ever will, to be honest. So maybe I will just delete this goal, because if I haven't managed to do it last year and I haven't managed to do it this year, and I'm comfortable with speaking the language at home or speaking the language with people within my area, I guess it's fine. There's probably no need to strive for that. But we will see, maybe one day. Then the next goal is to work through 50 French coffee breaks by Coffee Break Languages. As you might have already noticed, I'm a big fan of the podcasts, at least of the free ones I've consumed. They also have paid ones, but I never used them before. Quite expensive, but should be also pretty good. My brother told me that. But those books are quite neat. So they have 50 different exercises that you can do within your coffee breaks, and the exercises are made in a way that they are either 5-minute long, 10-minute long, or 15-minute long. And this way I can do it within my coffee breaks, just like that. So looking forward to that, and I will definitely give you also a review once I'm done with that book. So stay tuned. Then I got another goal, which is to work through this beast here. And as you might have already noticed, I'm not really writing much in my target language. Recently I did some exercises with ChatGPT, which has been really cool. Link to the video will be somewhere here. But I think it would also make sense to work on some dictation exercises. I hope dictation is the right word in English. Then the next one is to listen through language transfer in French. I did that already for Italian. For French, I'm too advanced actually to benefit a lot from language transfer, but I think there might be 1 or 2 tricks that I could learn from doing that. So that's still on my list, and I will definitely do that going forward. I'm currently playing a computer game called Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York, which is kind of like, if you will, a text adventure. The text is pretty complex, so it's a pretty high standard of French sometimes. And this definitely improves my reading comprehension. So I really like that, to play a video game, having fun at the same time while learning new things, and increase my comprehension. Then I want to finish listening to Lieu du Sexe and Relations Internationales, podcasts with a topic about sex, quite interesting. The next goal, 52 hours of italki or speak sessions in general in 2022. I didn't manage to do. That would have meant 1 hour per week. Yeah, I failed on that, only did about half of it. So I will proceed working on that goal in the next year, and I won't be too hard on myself. Probably I need to set up recurring appointments with an italki, but yeah, I don't want to put in too much pressure on that. Probably I will do in between a sprint or something where I will speak several days in a row, but I'm not sure yet. Then I've read already but haven't listened yet through Votre Empire dans un sac à dos, which is a book for entrepreneurs to, for living as a digital nomad or for building your own business and those kind of topics, which is quite interesting. And then I still got this pack here, this pack of magazines with the name Écoute. They are a bit old already, but I want to work and read through them. Those are from German to French, but have some interesting French articles, and I think I got them as a test abonnement. And besides that, I don't want to spend too much time on French next year because I've got also so many other projects, and I rather want to use it in a more passive way. Means to use it as a source language to learn other languages with an approach like Assimil, for example. Yeah, and also going forward, I will consume more YouTube content and read probably more books. Yeah, we'll see what else I'm gonna do. Probably there will be spontaneous new goals, but for now, that should be fine. Still got motivation to move forward because I think it's a wonderful and beautiful language. But at the same time, I realized also that it's really hard to master it and that I'm still making errors. So yeah, we'll see. Now let's come to Italian. I've read and listened through several podcasts. One would be Veleno, which is a really great true crime podcast. The next one is Pornazzi. I couldn't find the transcripts, but I've listened through it, which is about the porn industry and how it evolved within the last 2,000 years. Then I've read and listened through the book Il Piccolo Principe, so the Little Prince. That has been quite nice, but I knew the story already. I've listened through all the language transfer episodes in Italian, which has been quite useful, and I got some tricks. I've listened to all Vaporetto Italiano podcast episodes, which is a great podcast for real Italian learners. I've done the BUSU certificates up to B2. I don't know why B1 is missing here, but I've also did B1, of course, up to B2. So I've completed all the content. I've worked through all Easy Italian YouTube videos, so only the free ones. So I just read the subtitles and watched them. I've listened through all Coffee Break Italian episodes. I've completed the beginner stage with Speakly in Italian, currently working through the intermediate stage. It takes quite some time and I'm only doing the minimum amount each day to keep my streak. So that will take quite some time. And I've finished the 20,000 known words within Link. So yeah, definitely quite some progress. Now let's have a look at the goals that I haven't managed to reach yet and my new goals. First of all, read and listen to all Adesso magazines of 2022. Adesso, that's the same kind of magazine like Écoute from the same publisher. And yeah, I've got the audio magazines and the regular ones for 2022 and I want to work through them in 2023. Then Mimic Method Italian, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. That has been an old goal. But to be honest, I did that in French, but my Italian pronunciation is okay-ish. There's still some room to improve, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I will use the Mimic method for that or if I just do some shadowing. So we'll see. Then I still haven't worked through this one here. I've already shown you that last year, and it's a real nice comic with some. It's a real nice comic with some exercises in between. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I would still like to do that, but I just need to find some time and then actually do it. But yeah, that's still on my list. Then I've got also this one here. So the same as I've already shown you for French. So I will also do this one within my coffee breaks. And then I got another book that I bought in Italy actually, and which is this one. So it's a fumetti, so it's a comic, like you can see here. So it looks really nice, and it has in between those chapters with text where you need to write something. It's like for personal development, if you will. And that's a quite interesting format. I really want to try it, and I think it might help me to improve my writing while at the same time working on my reading comprehension. So yeah, can't wait for that. Haven't managed to do that yet, but it's also on my list for 2023. Then I'm currently reading and listening through Le Avventure di Pinocchio, which is a real Italian classic. So can't wait to finish that. I wanted to work through language hacking Italian. I don't know if that makes still sense because I'm quite advanced by now. So yeah, probably I won't do this goal. I've got another exercise book, which is this one. I haven't managed to do that yet. We'll also tackle that in 2023. Then one I have failed horribly has been the 100 italki sessions in Italian. So I thought if I do 2 sessions each week, then I would reach that goal. But in between I've had also vacations, I needed to travel for work and other things, other obligations. And this way, I've only reached 37 sessions, which is 37 hours of solid speaking in one-on-one conversations. But to be honest, it's not that bad. And I will keep that goal for next year and try to make the 100 full. I won't increase it because I think it's unrealistic. Probably I just need to set a time slot for that, a fixed time slot, or recurring sessions with my tutors. Because I noticed that if I need to plan each Sunday for the week and need to book, and then it takes so much time because I need to make decisions, and if I don't have to make decisions, I think it's way easier and won't drain me as much. Then I'm currently still playing Lingo Legend, which is a kind of gamified language learning app, or language learning game actually. I've already made a review about that and I will link it somewhere here. So I at least want to finish it one time in Italian. Then I'm working on 30,000 known Italian words within Link. I'm working on intermediate with Speakly in Italian. Then I'm currently working on listening, reading and watching through all Simone Paul's podcast episodes and YouTube videos, which are quite a ton. But yeah, I'm getting there. And last but not least, to learn all words with drops in Italian. This one is kind of paused at the moment, but yeah, I will probably work on that again. But this one is not too important. I'm not sure. Probably I will also remove that because I have already learned the most important words and all the other stuff is just not that useful anymore. Then I'm also thinking about improving my writing skills in Italian, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. Probably I will use ChatGPT for that, but I'm not sure again what kind of goal I should set myself. So yeah, we'll see. Now let's come to my newest language, Dutch. I have read and listened through all the Dutch TED Talks. Haven't been too many actually, like, I don't know, 41 or something. I have worked through all Easy Dutch videos and I've imported them to Link and read them there and then watched the videos. I've worked through all the Dutch mini stories, so I've read them and then listened to them 10 times each. So 60 mini stories, 10 times each. So 600 times I've listened to stuff. And that has been quite a lot, but yeah, by now I really know them inside out. And I've learned the 1000 most useful words and phrases with drops. Okay, then the goals that are still open. To study 5 easy Dutch videos in depth. So as you might see in the beginning, I wanted to do all that. So study 5 easy Dutch videos in depth, speak alone and shadowing with the TED Talks, but I've realized that there are no handmade subtitles. And that's pretty nasty. So I will use the easy Dutch content for that now. To get myself speaking alone. So those 3 goals are still on the table and I will definitely work on them in 2023. Couldn't do that yet because there were so many other obligations, so I just did my regular learning. After that I will build a conversation script which will be a bit bigger than usual. So I've watched Language Lords and he has made some language islands. So I will do the same in Dutch and I will memorize them. And yeah, then I will have my first real conversation and I will also film it. So there will be a video about that. Then I found a really great YouTube channel named Learn Dutch with Kim, or I think Dutch is to be. Yeah, which explains grammar concepts and stuff, and which I'm using as a side resource to yeah, understand certain stuff and to be able to notice things. And for more comprehensible input, I'm reading and listening through all Een Beetje Nederlands podcast episodes. So that this one is pretty neat and interesting. I'm currently also working through all Bubble content in Dutch from French. So French is the source language. I've already made a test video about Bubble and I will link it somewhere here. And I'm currently listening through all Universiteit van Nederland podcasts episodes. There are a ton of episodes, actually, like over 400, almost 500 by now, I think. So yeah, there's quite some work. I am working on my first 10,000 known Dutch words within a link, which I will obtain anyway because I'm reading lots of content each day. Yeah, with Dutch I got quite some progress. I'm really happy. Next step is to get into speaking, but it feels like learning a language on steroids because it's so fast. The Dutch language has many similarities with German, so that makes it pretty easy, to be honest. And then I've got already another language in mind, which I want to learn in 2023, but more on that at a given time later. About English, I haven't done much in 2022, but I want to improve my accent and get a consistent American English accent. So if you know any YouTube channel that has a standard American English accent and interesting topics, that's really important because I don't want to bore myself out. Please let me know in the comments. That would be really appreciated. Further, I'm speaking and writing English each day at work, so I won't lose much there. So that language in general is safe, but yeah, still lots of room for improvement for sure. And if you ask yourself now how I've made that much time for language learning, I've already made a video about that. Or if you want to know which language to learn next, I've also made a video about that. Please let me know in the comments what your language learning goals for 2023 are. And if you found the video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel, and to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time. Oh, and a happy new year, of course.